Welcome to the Nerd Store Podcast. My name is Kyle. I'm the host, and joining me today, like always, is David and Hayden, and we'll be talking about World of Warcraft, like always. We'll be talking about No Man's Sky, and I guess how crappy the game is.
As they relate to Wendy's Kids Meals, as they relate to Arctic Circle Kids Meals. Do you like a square pumpkin? Yes,
I don't remember talking about this at all.
I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to talk when Kyle's doing the intro, David.
I'm not supposed to talk when Kyle's talking ever. Has that ever stopped me once?
Yeah, this is true. I mean, I'm okay with this.
When Kyle had those conference calls in the background,
as far as
like,
other important
how you doing
things
back here? Got your finger
that were
in
talked
yours?
about, talk about some of the cool movies that are going to be coming out in the future that we're super excited about.
Like up to? Even upper?
Even upper. Even upper. Thanks for joining us, and go ahead and roll it, Aiden.
You should get the PSVR, get Batman VR, and then just do that exact thing. Just have the VR over the Batman cowl.
I need to do this.
Alfred, I need a Red Bull.
So we're gonna start with Hayden. Hayden's been gone for the last couple weeks. What have you been up to, man?
So I went and visited my family in Portland, Oregon for a week, so that was good.
You went and stood in front of some waterfalls.
Yeah, I
took
went on
some pictures,
some hikes, some Oregon stuff. They have hills and waterfalls and
some couple selfies,
lots of forests. I didn't. Well,
that place is gorgeous, man. Those pictures made me want to go there.
Oregon's beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, here you have mountains that you can see. Ours are covered by trees, so
we got some trees too, man.
You don't got no forests, David. It's just desert out here.
No, you got to go up into like the Uintas.
Yeah, up in the Uintas, there's some like you would get a lot of what you probably see in Oregon.
Yeah,
but no, I love that area, like Oregon and Washington. Like that place is just absolutely gorgeous, and it because I went up to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, a few months ago, and very similar, as far as the look. Absolutely gorgeous. I just
imagine all the trees,
all the greenery. It's just when you're here in Utah during the summer, everything's really brown and yellow because everything's dying because of the heat.
It's hot. Everywhere.
And so, when you go, middle of July, you go up into that area, it's all green. You're like, oh, this is where everywhere should look at all times of the year. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
You have to wear a jacket, and you're just like, oh.
Yeah. I did have to wear a jacket in July. I'm like, this is different.
And then you pass out because of the altitude.
Yeah. And I mean, I lived in Wyoming, which is always, windy and
always kills a conversation just right there. I lived in Wyoming.
I lived in Wyoming.
All right.
Well, there's nothing else
I'm
to
just
talk
talking
about
to
now.
somebody else. Yeah.
Podcast is over.
I lived in a rectangle once.
So, what about you, David? What have you been up to? It's been a couple weeks.
Are we talking the video games or just...
Here we go.
Live video games, geeky stuff that you've done, you being you?
Pretty much all I do is play video games now. But because none of my people wanted to play any video games together, I've just played video games with myself.
Oh.
So...
That sounds so sad.
Have you ever played a video game that's should have been... It would be better if that game... You feel like it would have been better if that game just wasn't made.
Call of Juarez.
Yes, I mean, I have played video games like that. The first Way of the Samurai, I absolutely hated. And I know people like that game, but I thought it was so boring. The story wasn't great at all. The graphics were okay, and the mechanics of it were just so broken. There were other, hack and slash type games that had come out by then that just...
Where it's specifically just the failing,
to everything else.
There's some good things about it, but just the failings of it are so complete that it just... You look at it wow, there's a whole lot of work that went into this, and...
It did not pay off.
Yeah,
a lot of people say about Assassin's Creed Unity, Yeah. The development behind that was pretty much a joke.
Oh, that's
and we're talking a $1 million franchise.
Yeah, that's the thing. When it's a serialized franchise like that, I would almost give it more of a pass because I would almost expect it to be bad.
Yeah.
But so I bought what was the game? spaceships.
Star Trek. Star Trek.
No. I didn't pay a dime for that.
Not that one? No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky, that's the one.
There we go.
That's the one.
Back on track.
Other space one. So I bought that, and I was playing through that, and like, it looks all right. It doesn't look great, but it looks like I look around and I go, okay, it's stylized. Like, maybe I can get into this. Start playing, gathering resources and stuff. Like, trying to figure that out is kind of. There's no like tutorials for any of the important things. Like, it's just kind of like.
I like that.
Yeah. So
they're
you're
not
kind of like
holding your hand.
Yeah, well, they kind of should, because it would. You would think like in designing UI, you would do something a bit
more intuitive.
Yeah, something like a mind could, unravel easily instead of like the arcane systems they've got in there. Like they've got terrible inventory. Like one of the things, like you start off with like I've heard it called like the Honda Accord of spaceships.
What year, sir?
97.
That car is a gem.
Yeah, like it's just you look at it and go like, man, like this is. I think I got this out of a Happy Meal once.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, it's the first feeling you get when you get a Destiny spaceship. That isn't the first one that you get. Like the second Destiny spaceship you get is like, oh, this is gross.
I think even the
Looks
Destiny
like a big
ships,
brown turd.
Yeah, or
I
yellow.
think even the Destiny ships, I like the Destiny ships. Some of them are dumb looking, giant boombox, but I'll still fly that.
Yeah,
I'll fly that.
I'll fly that. Even though my Iron Banner logos don't load up on the side of it, I'll fly that boombox. That's fine. Now, like this was just like I get it. So the first thing about it, like you're collecting resources to get this dumb thing going. Like, okay. So I finally get it going, like you start flying, and that's that wonderful feeling of like, oh, I can fly now.
Yeah. I'm
like,
free as a bird.
And so you take off and like you're looking around like, okay, I can land anywhere here. And like start scrounging for resources. Like there's a question mark over here, so I'll go over there. And like there's some weird looking buildings that look, like very much like prefab.
Well, it's all
space
procedural,
garbage.
So it's all
and there's been a lot of
Yeah.
like here's some buildings that are like floating in space on the side of a mountain that you're like have to like jetpack up to get inside.
Mm-hmm.
It's like okay,
It's cool.
Well,
No.
I mean, what's his name? It's Sean Murray, right?
Sean
He
Murray.
was the lead developer behind it. I mean,
Yeah.
he did come out, it's sad that he came out just a couple weeks before the game came out, saying that there is going to be a little bit of mix.
Mhm.
As far as that, there will be some people that like this game and some people that absolutely hate this game.
And that's the same for like
And,
all
like-
indie games, though.
And,
This-
well,
at the end of the day, it is still an indie game.
It's
You can run into-
people misinterpreted it. Like
Yeah,
they
that's-
hear it's
that's
going to
not
be this
this. I
massive
don't mean
open
to say,
world
like-
game. It's going to be like tons of action and adventure. They hear, oh, there's going to be space pirates in it, but the chances of you actually running into those space pirates is almost none.
But it's also space, so it's a big empty void.
Yeah,
And like all the
Well,
planets,
like that's the thing
you
is
have
like the
animals on
planets
it,
are
but-
the planets like might as well be a big empty void too.
Yeah.
Like that's
Well-
the thing is like there's like you find these buildings, you go in there and you talk to an alien, like he's speaking alien gibberish at you, and like you might understand one word, and like I found like 30 or 40 words in this Vaisheen or whatever the alien language was. And I was like, man, I feel like that makes me fluent in this language. No, they might
I
use
know
one.
30 of their words.
Yeah,
I probably know 30 Spanish
Yes.
words.
it's like
I can make 4 sentences.
I can't even ask
Asking
that guy
very
where the
specific
bathroom is. Like,
Don't ask
But, like, so that was. I'd like go up and talk to guys and like you have no idea what they're saying, but then like it kind of feels like you think from his like this is very scientific. Like you think from his behavior that he wants to fight you, but then like he decides that he's going to show you his inventory of stuff to buy. Like okay.
So my question is this something that maybe Sony helped develop because they want the tech behind it?
No,
You don't think that's what it is?
I
Because that's what I thought it was. Like I thought that Sony initially was willing to help with this, that way they could utilize this tech.
think
To
this
make
was
something bigger.
I think this was a remnant of that year where they opened the gates like PlayStation 4 is where you can have all these indie games. They have all those indie guys stand on stage. And No Man's Sky was one that piqued everybody's interest, so they rallied behind that one. But they didn't rally behind it in a way that was like, PR or anything. They just said like, oh, this one's getting a lot of hype. Dump money towards that. We'll do ad campaigns and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, the PR that they pretty much got was super positive because that game had a lot of issues from the get-go. I mean, the basement that they were building it in was flooded, so they lost like almost all the development that they had on it.
Yeah,
Sean Murray got super sick, where he was in hospital for months, and they had what was it? I mean,
there's the running joke going around that Sean Murray is now the face of like indie developers, because you see from like if you look at a picture of him from the beginning of their development and then a picture of the end of the development, he just looks like a wreck.
Yeah,
like it's the same thing with the guy that did Fez too.
Phil Fish.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's
Phil
right.
Fish,
Okay.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Don't you contradict me. I know who Phil Fish is.
The only thing I'm going to say, Sean Murray has gone through a lot of crap. There's been a lot of lawsuits they've had to deal with this game. They've been trying to get it out for a long time, but there's been bugs. I mean, that is one of the main issues with this game. This game is so big that there's going to be bugs.
I know about all that stuff. And, like, I was willing to throw all that aside and, like, play this game. But, like, as I'm playing it, like, you collect a bunch of resources, you get a super limited inventory.
Yeah.
So I got, like, 9 slots on your spacesuit, and then, like, your ship has, like, less, it's got a little bit more, but not much. So, like, I was able to talk to a guy that was like, okay, this guy really wants to sell his spaceship. Like, well, and it was kind of like this, I'm at this, like, building that has a landing port where, like, ships keep coming in, they'll land for, like, 5 seconds, and they'll take off. And you can go out there to the spaceship and, like, hit a button, and you can talk to the guy in the spaceship. And, like, he might sell you stuff, or, like, you can offer to, like, buy their ship. And there's some that are like, this guy is interested in selling his ship for the right price. Like, oh, well, as I'm watching this, like, going like, well, I've almost got that. I can just gather a bunch of stuff and sell everything I've got. I was short. So,
like super disappointed. Like,
yeah.
no!
So he takes off, and I noticed, like, another ship lands. I've seen that stupid ship before. I noticed, like, they're just cycling. The same 3 ships just keep landing.
Oh, okay.
So I go out and, like, mine a bunch of stuff around there. And, like, there's these dumb, like, robots that fly around.
Yeah.
And, like, as you're mining stuff, like, they'll scan you. And if, like, they decide they don't like your face, they're going to start shooting at you. So, like, that's super fun. Like, the only reason I was able to avoid those, like, if I stopped mining, I just looked at them.
Speciesist.
What, Dad? What? Okay, I'm going back to this. Okay, bye.
Well, then here's another question for you. Is this something where, like, maybe an indie title got too big for itself? Like, this game got released at a $60 price point. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's the thing. Is like
an indie game doesn't do that. Like, like most indie games top in maybe 40 bucks top.
Mm-hmm.
And this game got released at a $60 price point. Do you think maybe that might be the issue?
No.
That they just got a little too big for the britches?
I think that's part of it. That can be part of it for a lot of people. But I think the fundamental issue here is these guys spent a lot of time building systems that do not matter.
Okay.
Like,
you would have
you seen the Penny Arcade thing where, like, he's basically saying, like, I am standing in a vast universe on a planet that only I may ever see, witnessing an animal that was tailor-built specifically for me. And I don't give 2 shits.
But there's a sort of beauty in that.
No. Yeah, that's the thing, is, like, you think that. I can understand how you think that, because that's what everybody thinks before they go in. Yeah. And then you get in there and go, like, I don't care. I don't care about any of this. Because, like, the base part about it is, like, you can start gathering those resources, but, like, it's such a chore to, like, try to sell them. Like, what you have in your, like, 9-slot inventory is what you can sell. Okay. And even though you can teleport stuff between you and your ship, when you go to sell stuff at the kiosk to sell things, you can't sell things from your ship's inventory.
Oh, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
And so, like, you have to get out and, like, move it all over. And sometimes, like, well, you're too far away from your ship, so you can't do that. Okay. Thanks, space.
Well, that's... So, like, this game was built, because it's also partially because it's an indie game, it has a very specific audience in mind. And the problem with it being backed by PlayStation is that they want everybody to play this. They want to sell 50 million copies.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So
and I mean, it still sold well for probably the amount of time and the money and effort that actually went into it.
Sure.
Aside from maybe the few incidents they ran into, but a lot of that stuff they actually rallied money for before Sony even jumped in. Like when he got sick and when their basement flooded, they went and rallied people online to give them money to fix those problems before Sony jumped in and actually helped with this.
Well,
so
that's the thing. Is, like, I understand, like, some people do like this game, but they're crazy. Like, it's just...
They just have different opinions.
There are
like,
other games like it. Like,
entertainment.
Aside from Monster Hunter only being on one planet, you're not going to multiple planets. That's almost the same concept, the same idea.
No,
you're just going around grinding stuff to
well,
make
the thing
certain
is, like, there's only certain things you can find.
Items and stuff.
There's only certain things you can find on the one planet.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, I'm flying around, I find a bunch of things, like, I sell them, like trying, like, to grind my way up, like, well, I still want a better ship than the one I just bought from this bozo. It kind of looks like an X-Wing, but stupid. So it's better, it's like a better...
It's stupid.
I guess the thing is, like, every... Their progression system is, like, very...
Basic?
Baby steps, I guess, is the best way to put it. Like, here's a gun, like, your multi-tool is, like, that you can craft parts, like, okay, now it has a gun that shoots things, and it also mines things.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing that I could think that maybe why they did that was because the game is so massively open, and they expect people to be playing it forever, that they wanted to progress,
It's also...
But it's like, okay, I've got this gun that has 4 inventory
I'm not saying
slots.
it's right, but I'm just saying...
And I walk in here,
and
this guy's got one that's 6.
Oh, okay.
And you're like, okay, well, maybe I'll see a better one. And the more you explore, like, no, everybody has this dumb gun on the wall that they want to sell me for 40,000 units that is 6 slots and looks retarded.
Space
and I have to craft everything out of my old thing as well. It doesn't just transfer that stuff over, because why not? But, like, you do this grind, and, like, I eventually got to the point, like, it wants me to build a hyperdrive. And this is kind of where I quit. It's like, it said, okay, go up to this space station, and it pointed me up to a space station and said, go here, you need to learn how to build a hyperdrive. So I fly up there. There's, like, one alien I can talk to and, like, 3 locked doors that say, like, you need this Atlas key to unlock this door. So at the start of the game, there's this little, like, red orb, and you can choose to play in Atlas mode, which is, like, a more guided experience. I chose not to. And apparently by doing that, you say, lock 90% of the doors to me. Every time you find something interesting, what's going to be the interesting part about it is that it's locked, and you can't go in there.
Is there a way of finding a way in there? Or?
Not that I know of.
Huh.
And,
interesting.
Like, that's the thing is, like, every time I'd find a settlement where there's stuff there, every time, like, anything, there's nobody here, it's just an abandoned post, but there's a locked door.
Yeah, that always irritated me.
Atlas
like,
level 3 key, like, it's like, well...
Something like that always, like, that's irritated me back to, like, the past. Like, I'm talking, like, Final Fantasy, like, on Super Nintendo.
But this is...
Whenever I'd come across, like, a door that was locked, I was like, there's gotta be a key for that door. And then, come to find out later on, there was no key for that door. So all that time that I put into looking for it, like, an actual key or a lock, something that opened up that door.
Yeah, it's like when you're already Castlevania, like, going back, or Metroid, and going back, like, there's a secret down there. Like, I got a freaking missile pod expansion, guys. I can carry 5 more missiles.
Now, continuing with the theme of space, like, large MMO games, you've also been playing another similar-ish, maybe one.
Yeah, I would just want to say, like, in closing thought for that.
Sure.
Like, over the course, like, trying to just figure out this hyperdrive. Go to the space station, nothing there. Then I get a transmission that sends me, like, you need to go back to the planet because there's a guy down there who wants to tell you how to build a hyperdrive. Fly back down there. Guy says, okay, here's a message of how to build a hyperdrive. All right, apparently I know how to build a hyperdrive. Go into my inventory to try to figure out how to craft it. I'm going to the place where you craft things. No hyperdrive. There's one thing I can craft that's like dark matter or something like that. Not a hyperdrive.
Is it the Iron Dagger of this game as opposed to Skyrim?
It's like, I don't know if something's bugged, but it was just like, it was that point where, like, I'm looking around. I spent like an hour, like, trying to figure out how to build this thing, and, like, just prying through the menus, going like, what did I miss something? Like, I'm deleting parts of my ship to, like, see, like, do I have too many slots full? And I finally go like, okay, I can't figure out how to build a hyperdrive. And it's at that moment where I go like, well, I want to grind to build a new ship, kind of. I want to grind to get a better multi-tool, kind of, and I got this progression. I can fly. After that, I can fly out. I've already seen, I can fly out to the moon, to the space station, and I go like, you know what? I don't care. Like, there's not anything.
There's nothing driving you to actually care about.
Yeah, there's nothing thus far that is like has a hook that's like going like, hey man, you should really keep doing this stuff because things are going to get great.
So it's just like, it's the sheer and that's what I've always figured. It's just an exploration game. Like if you're not a person who wants to fill that exploration part of a game. Like, because I mean, some people, that's what they buy Skyrim for, or buy an Elder Scrolls game for. It's got nothing to do with the story. It's got nothing to do with anything but the fact that they want to explore.
But like
But the difference with those Elder Scrolls games is there's a lot more action involved with it.
Well, the thing about exploration games is like when you play like Mass Effect, and I'm using that as an example of like space exploration because that's the closest thing we've got. You know, like when you like in the Mass Effect 1, you could take the Mako down and like ride around. And like that was, I actually found those barren, desolate places where there's just a thing sticking out of the ground that you press X on and we found some iron. We marked it. And sometimes a worm pops out of the ground that we can shoot with our tank that's made of helium. Like, that was more interesting to me. Like, even, like, going to, like, the planets where you couldn't even land. And there was, like, I found one in Mass Effect 1 where there's a blurb on it that references monsters from the id. Which is a reference to Forgotten Planet, which is an old 60s sci-fi.
Yeah.
Or 50s. Like, it was forever ago. But, like, I knew what that reference was. And, like, that was more thrilling to me than anything I saw in No Man's Sky. And, like, there's, you know, like, in this vast universe where there's billions of planets and, like, all this stuff, like, you're discovering it. It's just, I couldn't care less. And I really wanted to. But I...
this game is for Magellans, essentially.
Not even, like, Magellan's, like...
You're not gelling.
No.
Magellan
like, it's not
Magellan.
even that, like, you know, like, when... I got...
Magellan.
I love exploring like World of Warcraft, like filling the great parts in on my map and stuff like that.
Sure, but there's always story
and like
behind it.
Skyrim and stuff like that. But like it's.
But there's a general direction you're going into because something kind of forced you into that area.
But
or,
it's like
or something that like I know there's gonna be quests over there if I go over in that area. Or there's something driving you, and there's nothing driving you in No Man's Sky. So speaking of games that I don't like currently.
It's Overwatch, because there's so much negativity.
Oh, yes. Yes, Overwatch. Definitely Overwatch. You keep playing a game called Destiny. How's that treating you, David?
I haven't played in quite a while. A couple weeks. It's like they just put out a patch that we did the Iron Banner. Mm-hmm. And like I did all 3 characters to that. And that actually got me like past level 350 on all my characters. But I was able to like earn stuff on the one character and then transfer it over. And like then you're getting Iron Banner drops that are slowly increasing. The thing that like disappointed me about that was like all the when you play the Iron Banner in the regular Destiny, like the thing was like you'd get a special set of armor.
Yeah.
And when I say special, I mean like nothing else looked like that. There was no other set of armor that looked like the Iron Banner armor. It was very eye-catching. Like, whoa, what's that guy wearing? That's all Iron Banner stuff. Like that looks amazing. So in the Rise of Iron expansion, you've got this Days of Iron armor set that unlocks as you progress through things in your book. And the Iron Banner armor set is identical to that except for like the chest piece. Except that you can't put like, there's these ornaments, Days of Iron ornaments you can put on the Days of Iron armor that will like, put like, here's a patch that now has like a roaring fire behind it as it's like going up your body. Like, there's like the negative space of a wolf's head and there's fire inside. But I'm using hand motions that nobody can see. But that's not an option for the Iron Banner gear. It just looks, the chest pieces are always like slightly different. Like there was an extra piece of fur on the Hunter chest piece. On the Titan chest piece, there was like, it had this big wolf head or Iron Banner logo or a tree or something. And like on the actual Iron Banner chest piece, not the Days of Iron one, it had 2 wolves' head that were just looking at each other on the exact same chest piece. No difference. So you're doing this PvP event that like you're getting special things from all along, and now it's like, okay, this is not the same things. Like that's been like one of the most disappointing things I've seen. Like it's not that big of a deal. Like all the guns actually are like they're unique from the Iron Banner stuff. Like it's not like a reskin version of like whatever pulse rifle or whatever. Like they're very, that's an Iron Banner weapon from like what you get.
So you're just disappointed in the lack of variety.
Yeah, but that's like the Destiny syndrome of like using every part of the buffalo.
Yeah.
And since, this particular buffalo is the Iron Banner buffalo, it's run especially thin, I guess. But like they did put out a patch where now like the blues scale up to like 365. So that will get you into the raid. But like me and my sister haven't really been playing much anymore after the Iron Banner, just because like it's only the two of us. Like that's not a full fire team, and I was just like, like until I can get more people in there, like it's just not playing.
Yeah.
Like it's just like I'd like to be, but there's just not that drive. Like that is a social game, and without the social aspect, it just there's no reason. It's like
that sounds about right.
That was super disappointing.
But speaking of Overwatch, though, since you brought that up, I had a lot of fun playing that again. Absolutely loved it. I love these events. Like Halloween, Christmas time. I don't know why I get so enthralled with all these games that have to have these like awesome like holiday events, but I do.
Great though, yeah. No, it's
like
it's cool to see him do it. You know.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it just gives a nice little bit of flavor for something you haven't played for a little while, and you jump in and you're doing it all over again. Like we all know, I've been playing World of Warcraft forever. They have been doing holiday events since pretty much the beginning, and
it's my favorite times to be in the game. You know,
yeah, and I'm grinding for the Headless Horseman mount that I will never get again.
I got it when it was current.
Yeah. It's
current every year.
And I'm surprised you don't have it, Kyle.
Yeah, I know, right? For the sheer amount of times that I've killed that thing. Still gotta do it today, though. Still have to do that today.
Megan's been doing that as well.
Talking a little bit about World of Warcraft, I kind of wanted to talk just a little bit, not a whole lot, just because we've been talking about it quite a bit. We're on the not the eve, but the day before the eve of 7.1.
The eve of the eve.
The eve of the eve of 7.1 coming out for World of Warcraft. So I kind of wanted to maybe review a little bit of what we just got with the beginning of the expansion. It's been fun. Like, I have been playing this game literally almost nonstop since it launched back in August, and been having fun every day playing it. Like, the emissary quests with the world quests are amazing. It makes me want to jump in and play the game for that legendary that I will never see. But nonetheless, I'm still going to do it because...
But your stupid guildmate
damn it,
has
one of these days it's going to drop and I'm going to be happy.
Yeah, your stupid guildmate has one, or you're walking around Dalaran, there's that guy on the rat mount that I just haven't ground for, and then there's the guys with the fox mount. Nope, I don't have that yet.
See, and I mean, those are the things, like, there's so much to do in just the beginning of this expansion. It's insane to me to think that, like, every time they're talking about new content, they're like, and this is just the beginning. I'm like, wait. Like, you just released the expansion. We had the beginning. You're telling me this is just the beginning? Like, 7.1 is just the beginning? Like, we're getting one of my favorite raids redone as a 5-man mythic dungeon with Karzan. I love that place so much. I had so much fun. That's probably the closest point in my life that if you would call me a hardcore World of Warcraft player, that's probably when I was hardcore.
You only like the first boss
in the Burning Crusade stuff.
No, I cleared it.
Yeah. Like, I like the lore behind it, the aesthetic, the ghostly atmosphere that it had.
Oh, that's true. I ran that like a lot, but I eventually did run through it because I'm like, you know what? I want to see the rest of this.
Yeah, no, it's great. Once. Like, I absolutely loved it. The opera event, like the fact that you could have a different boss, you know, every time I went in. That's like that was kind of that was really.
And when you were trying to get that stupid pet to drop, and like you did the stupid Red Riding Hood event, like, nope, that's not it this time.
Yeah, great, well, I guess I'm not getting it this week.
Great.
No, but like I love the fact that they're bringing that back. But anyway, to kind of get back to the previous stuff, is this expansion so far has been phenomenal. I'm a little sad because some of the developers have kind of been leaving the World of Warcraft project and moving on to other things, either outside of Blizzard or within Blizzard. Tom Chilton, he recently just stepped down as the game director and is moving on to something else within Blizzard, which kind of excites me because he's working on something that they haven't announced yet. So I'm kind of hoping we get something at BlizzCon about that.
Diablo 4.
I mean, that's a lot of the speculation going on right now.
There's a 4 on the dice.
But that's already, like, Blizzard already said that was just a misprint.
Are you telling me?
They've already said it's a misprint.
How many sides were to this dice? You telling me that's just a coincidence that there was a number 4?
It's a 4-sided die, and the number 4, the 4 was in the wrong spot, and that it spells out November 4th and all that stuff. Like,
how do you have a 4-sided die?
You don't.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
No, like you can't get like the 3-sided. Like I can make you a 2-sided dice. It's a piece of paper.
Yeah.
but anyway, it's cool that there are people moving, and I love Ian. I think Ian is amazing. Mm-hmm. One of the reasons why I like him so much is
Malcolm.
What's that? I can never pronounce his last name.
Malcolm is the last name.
Hazakostas?
Something like that.
Ian Hazakostas?
You made that up.
No, I did not make that up.
It's not.
He's now the game lead, the project lead, and he's phenomenal. He always fesses up to when they screw up. Mm-hmm. Like, he is very, very specific on what he talks about, and he always this is something that we can work on, and is probably something we'll working on in the future.
I think Blizzard, has primarily been like those two people. Like, remember referencing Metzen as well.
Yeah,
like those two people. Blizzard's their baby. That's been their life.
Oh yeah,
and I don't think they step down or move to other things if they don't feel like the company's in like
the best
great hands.
Well, yeah, I seriously, I was crying to myself when Chris Metzen said that he was leaving the company. Like,
I think
I am not looking forward to BlizzCon because I'm already pretty sure that there will be at some point that I will be crying because he's going to be there. Mm-hmm. He's going to get up. He's going to talk to people, and he's going to start crying because he's going to be leaving, and then I'm going to start crying. I'm like, oh, I need my Chris Metzen. Like, I need to see him. I need to hear his voice in my World of Warcraft game.
I bet you he is at every single event they do.
Yeah. Well, he will be. He will. Like, the difference is that he's... Okay, so we'll talk about Chris Metzen real quick. He's been a very busy guy. Mm-hmm. Like, he was helping the production of that movie, with the Warcraft movie, nonstop. He was behind that project, from what I remember reading, almost 100% of the time. Mm-hmm. Like, he was on set working on that. He's been behind Overwatch the entire time.
He's
still behind, Warcraft and Diablo.
I don't think this is necessary. I would just mean, Obi-Wan Kenobi wasn't ever really gone. He was always just there as a Force ghost whenever you needed him.
It's true, yeah.
Chris Metzen is the Force ghost at every BlizzCon now. He's there if you need him. he's always watching. But like I said, I'm sure I will be crying at some point at BlizzCon because I'm going to be missing my Chris Metzen. I am excited that Tom Shelton's moving on to something else. I really like Tom Shelton as well. It just made me happy that they chose Ian to come and be the project lead behind that, just because I think Ian is amazing. Mm-hmm. But I am excited to see what Tom Shelton's actually going to talk about at BlizzCon. On the other side of things,
hopefully at BlizzCon.
I'm very excited just with Blizzard as a whole to see where they're going. Just because if those guys are stepping down, they're not doing, like I said before, they're not doing that because they think it's in good hands.
Oh yeah, no, exactly.
And so it's exciting to see what the Saved by the Bell new class is going to do.
Yeah. What the new class is going to do, or even what the old class that's moving on to something else is going to come up with.
as those positions are filled by other capable people, what their ideas are going forward. That's very exciting. And Blizzard's always been that company that is kind of, they'll take what other people are doing, but they'll make it better. And everybody turns their head, go, oh, that's a real good point.
Yeah.
Legendaries should be dropping.
Legendaries should be dropping, yeah. And we will, I do want to talk more about BlizzCon, but we're going to save that till next weekend.
Yeah.
Just
for actual BlizzCon?
Well, no, that's the weekend before BlizzCon, but I want to wait until next week and talk about it, just we can talk about what they might talk about, as far as content that might be coming out for any of their games.
Some speculation.
Characters that they keep teasing for Overwatch, with crazy stuff that they keep doing online. Sombra! Anyway.
What was that? Was it you that said...
What?
Where did you see that thing the guy posted, watch the whole NX video? Didn't see a Sombra mention once.
Yeah, so when the new Nintendo Switch, which we will get to, came out, there was a page, I think it was College Humor, that rounded up some of the best Twitter replies. And a guy just replied... Watch the whole Switch video. Didn't see Sombra once. I'm getting tired of this, Blizzard. It's a perfect combination of Nintendo madness and Blizzard madness. So.
So speaking of Nintendo and Blizzard, though.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think that's a better example of just how that madness of just like the Blizzard fan of just like,
Yeah.
well, we've checked all the...
We've checked everything in the universe.
Yeah, like we've checked like
Still
all
no
the
zombie.
logical places to check for something. Like maybe he was hiding in like one of the books on my shelf all along.
We've literally scoured every bit of coding that is detailed online. We cannot
Yes.
find anything
Look,
else.
it might not
about
be in
this character.
Overwatch, so let's start checking Call of Duty. Or maybe he was in Mario. Like, lift up the Yoshi skirt, see if he's hiding under there.
The search for Sombra.
Yeah. That's what this year should be called, the search for Sombra. I totally agree with that.
Next Overwatch expansion. Revealed.
But to kind of talk about Blizzard and Nintendo, there's going to be a couple things I want to talk about. I'm going to bring up about Blizzard anyway, just because they kind of mess with people once again. But we'll talk about the Switch first. The Switch was announced, which we've already kind of been talking about for weeks now with the podcast. When is Nintendo going to announce it? I actually said
March.
it should be coming... Well, no. Well, the system's coming in March. They should be announcing it this month if they were going to be releasing in March, because it only makes sense to announce it now. That way they can get through the holidays, and after the holidays are over with, they can have any other bit of info. But announcing anything in January and then releasing a console in March would be the dumbest thing that Nintendo could ever do. Now, the only thing that might be crazy about this might hurt their sales a little bit on the Wii U. But I know stock has been pretty limited on the Wii U anyway for the holidays, so maybe Nintendo's
I was in GameStop yesterday, and there was a Wii U in stock, so I don't think things will be that bad.
But they still haven't dropped the price on it, so I don't think that they're really gonna like worry too much about sales.
I think they're kind of done with the Wii U. I feel
it.
like they
might as well.
I'm going to come out on the edge here and say Nintendo actually was never really interested in selling you a Wii U from the beginning.
They didn't make it very apparent that you needed a Wii U.
Yeah.
This is very true. But I know Hayden and I have both watched this amazing first look at the Nintendo Switch. David has not, however.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
who has time for videos on the internet?
Yeah, who has 3 minutes? 3.5 minutes.
Is there a cat in this?
Is there a cat?
Yeah.
I don't remember there being a cat.
There's a dog.
There's a dog.
Yeah, there's dog walking. It's pretty sweet. So, the idea is that
All right, beautiful man.
Dave, you
sitting
are this
at home.
person.
I am.
You are.
I hate to tell you this, that I am not that pretty.
You're playing the new Zelda on your television,
Hey, dog.
and there's the dog.
Yep. Your dog wants to go pee. What are you going to do? What is a man to do?
You're
you
never
want
to
to keep playing Legend of Zelda, but you have to take your dog out.
You just can't stop.
Oh, that's right. It is a handheld now. Your whole console
Everybody
turns into
knew
a
this.
handheld.
Who needs a
Everybody knew
3DS now?
All right.
I'm loving the music.
It's not bad. It's typical white American. Just, no. Little
Check it
cartridge.
out. It uses cartridges.
Was that
Isn't
it?
that cool in 2014?
That was a game cartridge? Because that thing is tiny.
Have
That's
you
a
played the
So,
Vita?
size
like,
cartridge.
Have you played the
basically,
Vita?
yeah, it's basically 3DS
Have you played
size.
the Vita? Have you played the Vita?
Yeah.
I have played the Vita, but
Have you seen those? Did you ever?
yeah,
No?
but I can't
don't
imagine
think so.
Look at
Skyrim
that.
on the Vita.
Skyrim.
Yeah, not confirmed.
Skyrim.
Not confirmed.
Dude, they wouldn't show it on the commercial if they weren't going to put it on the console.
And he's playing in third person.
Yeah, you can do that in Skyrim.
No one plays in third person.
I play in
No one
third person.
should.
You're an idiot.
You should play
You're
first
playing it
person. It's
wrong.
great.
I play it in both, but mainly like when I'm adventuring, I always play in third person.
Is there mod support on that one? No?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Okay,
no.
so like when I'm playing on the Xbox and I can have Macho Man Randy Savage dragons flying around.
But look, you have two people playing at the same time, each with a little different tiny controller.
Wow,
that
that
can
looks
only...
like the stupidest thing in the world.
You have to have
Look
hands.
what else they could be doing. Actually driving real go-karts.
You have to have hands as small as Donald Trump's.
I'm glad
to
they
use
included
those.
that in there.
That is kind of funny they said that. Well, you could be playing our game, or you could go outside and do real go-karts. And then it's the opposite effect here. Well, we could really be playing a game of basketball, but let's go ahead and just calm down and just play a game on our
Yeah. Let's get
Nintendo
way too excited about
Switch.
video games right now.
And that's a Mario that isn't even... It isn't
Look,
announced
Mario
yet.
can jump 3 times now. Mario
So there's-
Switch is the name of it.
There's some speculation that it's going to be a new Mario Galaxy. Because that's just what it looks like.
Come over here with your
That'd
dumb
be kinda
thing.
cool.
But she's not going to stop. That's the
I
She
know.
doesn't have to stop. She can keep going.
Did you notice she didn't take any of her
On the fly.
suggestively placed amiibos?
No.
Odd.
No,
She
they just
would've-
want you to make sure to know that there will be amiibo support. Don't worry,
are
there'll
you
be
sure?
plenty of
Because it didn't show amiibo
microtransactions for
support.
our console.
Alright, cool. Yeah, play this out.
But yeah, it's saying, oh, our system is for the
Oh,
pro
look,
gamers.
you can play Splatoon. Is there going to be a Splatoon on there? Did you say that?
Yeah. So there's going to be some Wii U games that are on this
So
console.
we're not sure that if they're going to be the Wii U versions of those games, or if they're going to be like remastered, or if they're going to be just new versions of those games.
Essentially, Game of the Year implied.
Yeah.
So
you can buy it again.
Either buy it again, or hopefully, because it would just be a punch to the nuts if they didn't. But hopefully, like on your Nintendo account,
Did you notice with their new Pro Controller, the analog sticks are now offset instead of being next to each other?
I didn't see that.
I thought that was kind of funny.
It goes well with their design there. Didn't you see it?
Yeah.
Dumb logo.
So that was the Switch.
So that was the most disappointing thing of the year. Anything else?
That's what I heard from a lot of other of my students. Is like, I watched that video and I was just so underwhelmed.
Are you a professor?
I wish.
My students.
Well, did I say my
You
students?
said
You
my
did
students.
say my students.
Didn't I say my fellow students?
No, you said my students.
Okay.
I thought, I heard it was my students.
Well, hopefully I'll be a teacher's assistant, and then retroactively that will be correct.
I would just like you to refer to everybody in your life as just my
Is that
students.
something you're working to? Is to try and be a teacher's assistant right now?
It'd be nice, get some sort of income.
No.
Because right now I got nothing. Like, I'm just
Get your
stagnant.
wife.
Yeah.
You give her a ring. It's now on her.
I thought she was
If
your
she
sugar
says
mama.
yes.
She kind of is, but like get food and stuff. But like, yeah, I don't know. Recreation stuff we still sort of
If
split.
she's not playing World of Warcraft, she doesn't have any responsibilities. That's how it works. If you're not playing World of Warcraft,
You might as well
Go
be
make some
homeless.
money.
Go
Yeah.
make money.
you don't want to run this dungeon, you don't want to heal for me, you don't want to tank, then it's time to do some real work.
So, the only thing I want to bring up about this, like after this video went live and everybody got to go nuts about,
God Beatus ain't gonna gem himself.
what Nintendo didn't announce about the Switch.
Was anything good?
Blizzard did go out and troll everybody though. Through their Hearthstone account. They said, "Hey Nintendo, wink wink, we're keeping an eye on you."
Ooh.
And everybody went nuts.
Overwatch on Nintendo.
And if you're
3
David,
years later.
Hearthstone being on the Nintendo Switch, I really don't like that name. I think I'm still going to call it the NX. I think I'm declaring this now. That console will always be the NX. Yeah, we're just going to call it the NX from here on out.
Okay.
Cool.
I don't.
Sound good?
Sounds trolling, I'm in.
Sound good? Yes, I'm down.
That's fine.
I'm down. Yeah. So we're going to go with the NX. So the NX, I understand that they probably have a huge marketing department behind it, and they're like, Switch is something that's going to make sense, but I'm sorry.
Do you think they're new,
Wii U
actually, with this marketing
didn't
department?
actually
Do you think
make
that's
sense.
a new development?
No.
Because I don't think they were there for the whole Wii U thing.
Yeah, like that's what I was just saying.
If
the
you
Wii
look
thing
back,
was
there's been a few
terrible.
things. Maybe they give them a couple years break. Because the last time I noticed that there wasn't much marketing going on was the Game Boy Micro. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
Nobody does.
I remember it. I do remember it. The
I
Game
got
Boy
3.
Advance Micro. Yeah. Yeah. But
It was just called the Game Boy Micro. I can understand how you get it wrong because there's no marketing to tell you otherwise.
So the only games technically
If you press F10 to do a search
confirmed-
and just type in Game Boy Micro.
So the only games that were actually confirmed, that are 100% confirmed, were The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which we already kind of knew that was going to happen. That
Phil
would
Collins,
be a thing.
balls in your mouth racing.
Yeah. We got an Untitled Mario game,
That's a
which
Sean Baby. Joke.
yeah. Splatoon, Mario Kart, Just Dance 2017, which we already knew was going to happen because Ubisoft said it was going to happen.
Oh, and everything Ubisoft says. Actually, it's Ubisoft.
Ubisoft. I'm going to go with Ubisoft.
No, it's not.
Just like Nintendo
No,
NX.
no.
Yeah, just to bug you
Ubisoft.
now at this point.
You wanna know why?
It's going to bug you.
No.
Sonic Games.
We're doing this right now.
What?
Why is it Ubisoft instead of Ubisoft?
I don't know. Why?
Ubiquitous software.
Ubiquitous software. Okay. Well,
That is where their name comes from.
Okay.
It's not French.
Ubisoft. I'm going to go with Ubisoft.
Ubiquitous software.
Ubisoft.
There you go.
Okay. Ubisoft?
Ubisoft.
Got it.
Okay. You're doing this for me because I'm doing this whole NX thing for you.
So, like, and Sega already came out and said, well,
Also-
it was like late, it was like early
I
this
promise that for the rest of this podcast, I won't make fun of you for Hearthstone.
But that only extends to the rest of this podcast.
year. The rest of this podcast.
Yeah.
So, Sega already came out and announced that they were going to be making a Sonic game for the NX.
What?
Which doesn't surprise me at all. Square has already come out and said that both Dragon Quest X and Dragon Quest XI will be on the NX.
What about Dragon's Lair?
So
Because I believe
I got sad news
You're
for you
barking
for
up the
Dragon's Lair.
10-year-old tree.
no, actually, almost every video game system has, and even things that are not technically video game systems, has a copy of Dragon's
It
Lair
does.
released for
This
it.
is true.
So if you got a bad Sonic game, man, you need a copy of Dragon's Lair to go with it.
And then a game called SteamWorld Heist will be coming out for the NX. So what's funny is that we had 2 games specifically in that trailer. We had Skyrim, and we had NBA 2K. That they specifically showed in that trailer.
It's weird because on the NX it looked like NBA Live.
I'm not going to get into that.
It's a joke, you get it?
I know, I get it, because it doesn't look as good.
Yeah, you get it?
Because I think the tablet only runs at 720p.
It was underhanded.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, is that I do believe that these games are coming out for it. I think Nintendo dropped this trailer before the publisher or the developer was ready for them to.
Oh, that would be such a...
I really think that that's what happened, and that they're like, no, we have no comment at this point that it is actually coming out for the NX.
Dick move.
Even though, obviously, if like
Because
I don't foresee them
Bethesda's
giving them the ability to show their game running on their console without it actually.
Historically,
for the console.
Bethesda's been a great publisher to really screw with on like that. You know, like they've been real responsive to.
I mean, wait. Like, Sony's done it, and they've still been releasing games for them, and
No,
not
but,
only
like,
that, they screwed back
Sony-
with them, and what did they do? Sony's like, okay, we'll give you guys some mod
Bethesda,
support.
yeah,
Not all
Bethesda
mod
goes
support,
like
but some.
Bethesda can go like, yeah, we don't think we're gonna go over there anymore because you're being stupid, and then they have to react and go like, oh, we're not that dumb.
We're not as dumb as you think. We
Like
promise.
Bethesda's that one company out there that will go. Check yourself.
Hold up.
And they
pump the
probably
brakes.
will, but I don't foresee them going through the time to get a game ready and then all of a sudden say, no, we're not going to release on your console anymore.
Yeah.
I don't foresee them doing that.
I want you to know that your eraser right there has the most suggestive name.
Magic Rub?
Yeah.
Magic.
It is magical.
I just keep looking over at you and seeing that. And just
Magic rubber erasers.
I can't. Yeah.
So yeah, no, I do think these games will be coming out for it. I don't think the developers or the publishers are ready to talk about it
I don't think there's any
before
games coming
they...
up for it.
Like, my guess is maybe there is a trailer
Yeah.
or an announcement that they had ready.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't showing enough.
There's one game they haven't shown
Like-
that it's actually coming out for. It's called Doodle Jump.
Yeah. The 10-year-old iPhone game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that this was one that they were supposed to show off later on when
What's
they
that
were all
dumb one
ready
with like
to announce
the
it.
blocky looking truck, jelly truck?
Oh, I remember that. That's an old one.
Yeah.
So let's talk
I
about
think that
some
was
of
coming too.
let's talk
Oh,
about
yeah.
some of the online reaction. So a couple things.
Tetris.
One thing I want to bring up.
Why would you talk
from
about
the
online
beginning.
in relationship to a Nintendo console? I don't get it.
Because there's still people that watch this stuff online that react to
Did
it.
they require you
Whether or
to
not Nintendo will recognize it.
So to post comments on a YouTube video, did you have to put in a 32-digit friend code? What is that?
Angry Joe did like a 17-minute like reaction video.
Oh, really?
Was
So
he- was
this
he angry
3.5 minute video. It's funny.
Was he angry?
No.
Was he happy about it?
No.
He was
He was
just
just
mediocre
meh?
about it?
Yeah,
Mediocre?
he was angry.
Yeah.
It's the Angry Joe show.
Yeah.
Well, I asked if
You
he was
cannot be angry in the
first,
Angry Joe show.
and you said no, he wasn't angry. So then it just comes down
It
to
was
like, well,
sarcasm.
mild-mannered Joe.
So we all know what we're getting basically with this console. It's gonna, and we already kind of knew. We've been talking about this for weeks now.
It fits
Home
pretty
console
well.
/ handheld.
Yeah.
One thing that people are complaining about online, and they complained about the same thing when the 3DS got announced.
Oh, so
It's
Nintendo
another
didn't fix
handheld
it.
that I got to carry around.
Yeah.
Like, why would I do that?
Why?
Well, 3DS is
So you look like a
the
spaz
most
on the bus?
popular
You
handheld that
stole
they've
on the
ever
bus?
sold.
And you got.
So obviously it works.
So how is GameStop going to handle the trade-ins for the stolen NXs and Switches? It's two different consoles,
Why are
right?
you asking me? I have no idea.
No, it's. I mean, well. It's
Do you have to have a base unit to trade in with it? Does
I
that
have
have
no
the serial
idea.
number on it?
I'd assume
the
so. 'cause
console's
that's
not
what's
out.
charging.
I have zero. I
Oh,
have zero
no, I'm just
idea.
saying these are
Zero.
things to think about.
Yeah, I'm sure these are things that are being thought about. But the point is that people complained about it when the 3DS got announced. Like, why are they making another handheld? That's just something I'm going to take. I'm not going to buy it. Blah blah blah. Haters are going to hate. That's what's going to happen. David obviously is going to hate it because for whatever reason he's got something against Nintendo. Even though he bought a Wii U, I'd like to state this. Matter of fact, I sold him his Wii U on launch day.
On launch day. What did I get with it, Kyle?
Nothing, because there was like almost nothing else. Oh, yeah, that's right. Take. That's right.
Guess what? To this day, that has been the best Wii U game that was ever released.
But
actually, Splatoon is pretty good.
So here's some of the issues that we have behind this.
One quick thing. Do you know what they called the Splatoon album? The music album for it?
The album?
Splatoons.
Splatoon? Really?
Ooh.
Yeah. I actually kind of like it. It's not gonna lie. Yeah. I shouldn't like it, but I do.
So petty.
But so I'm gonna like people that are complaining about like, oh, it's another handheld. Why would I carry another handheld? Because you have Skyrim in your freaking pocket.
No, you don't.
Like, or you have Legend of Zelda. Okay.
There's no mod support.
Okay. You have Legend of Zelda.
Do you know
in your pocket? People wanted this stuff that Nintendo is about to give people. Shut up and listen.
I got this Play Anywhere
thing. You listen.
Remote console.
People have wanted this stuff.
The power of a PS4 in the palm
since the Vita got announced, and Sony couldn't even give it to them. This is what people wanted from the Vita. And
not
now
even
Nintendo.
Sony. Oh, shock.
Well, people would be like, hey, Sony does no wrong. Unless you don't want to give mod support or
those people
not put
have a
4K
name.
Blu-rays in your systems.
They're called the Sony Defense Force.
The point is that they had a direction.
They're also sweetly retarded is the term for it.
Like, they've had a direction they've been going, and they're sort of doubling down on it now.
Yeah, and I think this is the idea that they wanted with the Wii U, and they didn't have the technology to do it yet.
Whenever
they
someone
hadn't
says
figured out
doubling
how
down,
to make it happen.
I just imagine they're pooping extra hard.
Why?
Just because you'd only have to double down if you're constipated. Like, just,
okay.
I don't think that's what that phrase was.
So let's move on from that in any way that we possibly can.
Sure, please.
So the next thing that people are criticizing, which I think is a valid
but are they criticizing Nintendo?
Is that Nintendo didn't announce enough.
So they are criticizing Nintendo.
Yeah,
then it is valid.
It is
valid.
It is valid.
No, they're simply because they are criticizing Nintendo. It is valid.
Only because they're criticizing Nintendo?
If it was anybody else, you'd have to have a good reason. But Nintendo...
This is not true.
It is.
I could criticize Microsoft and Sony all day long, too.
Would you want to talk about their...
Maybe not Microsoft as much right now, because they're doing lots of good. And that's only because
I would like
Spencer
to talk about my
head.
Elite controller that the left joystick can't find its home.
Okay. I'm not going to disagree with you with that. Like, I think that's kind of ridiculous.
It's been the most disappointing thing I've had currently.
Actually, have you tried cleaning it all yet?
I don't clean things. I'm white.
So I would say maybe do just get a little bit of rubbing alcohol, just kind of clean up right there in that area.
Actually,
mine's not. The only reason I bring this up is mine's not having the problem anymore.
It's a very common. Like I've looked this up. Like it's a very common problem
with the left one,
with just the Xbox One controllers.
Oh, okay.
And even the first run of...
The main reason why it was an issue with the Xbox One controllers is because of the plastic. The fibers would build up down there, and that's what would create that issue.
But the thing about it is like that's all metal.
It is, which means it's higher... there's actually... The way they built it is to make it so the fibers don't happen. That's the whole reason why they went with metal instead of plastic. Is because the fiber buildup doesn't happen. So there might be something in there that is actually just... a little bit of buildup, like skin.
Yeah, it could just be skin.
Yeah, so like if you just get just a little bit of rubbing alcohol on a Q-tip, maybe just clean up right there, it might fix it. The only reason why I'm saying this,
I
did it to mine because mine wasn't. No.
Okay.
No, so like when you get your controller in hands, just push the stick down, clean up right in that area, push it up, clean in that area, push it down, clean up in that area. Just do that just a little bit and see if that fixes it.
So
because I did it with
down,
mine. Yeah,
left, right, left, right.
Yeah.
BA start, right?
BA start.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go with that. It's called the Sega code, right?
So the criticism, anyway, back on
I'm
point.
Throw this microphone
back on point. The criticism that Nintendo's getting right now is they didn't announce enough. Like, we don't know anything else about the console, and obviously it's a home console / handheld. They didn't really announce any games. Like, even the ones that we know are confirmed, they didn't actually announce that those are confirmed. We could just assume that those games are going to be on it. We know the reason why they pushed Legend of Zelda last minute was because they wanted it for the Nintendo NX. We all knew that was going to happen. We all had a good idea that was what was going to happen. Duh. Now, the other stuff is, like, for instance, Skyrim hasn't officially been announced. Bethesda already said that they have no comment on anything that's coming out. They're not commenting on whether or not they're working on anything for the NX. 2K did say that they are working on stuff. You know, they did say that they were working on stuff. So that is a positive thing. But Nintendo didn't announce anything else. They didn't say whether or not it's going to be backwards compatible. And I know that's one of the complaints is, oh, it's not backwards compatible with the Wii U.
Yeah.
Okay, nobody bought the Wii U, so it doesn't matter.
It matters for the people that bought the Wii U.
You might remember me from that one time I bought a Wii U.
Now, I know that there are some of us
that...
I bought a Wii U as well, but you don't see me freaking out. You don't see me freaking out because I didn't get backwards compatibility.
Because you like Nintendo.
Listen. Okay, we didn't get backwards compatibility when the Xbox One came out, originally. We didn't get backwards compatibility for the PS4, period. And the reason why is that this...
Oh, they do have backwards compatibility for the PS4. It's called PlayStation, now you have to pay for it.
The reason why we didn't get that stuff, though, is because hardware changes over time. Not to mention, the whole reason why people had an issue with the Wii U, it was hard to develop for. The tech in the Nintendo NX is supposed to hopefully fix that problem that Nintendo was running into.
Or lack.
That's the whole reason why they went...
Get it? Because there's not tech in there. It's not even two GameCubes taped together. It's like...
Man, your hate for Nintendo.
It runs deep.
Obviously.
Here's the thing. Like, Nintendo at one point was an industry leader. Mm-hmm. And they set the standards for a lot of video games. Just video games in general. Like... There's certain archetypes of video games, like they're, 3D platforming. Yeah, Metroidvania. Even though they've moved away from that.
Well, even platformers in general.
Platformers, Metroidvania.
I mean,
how a 2D platform feels.
Anytime Nintendo releases a game for their console, it's really good. But it's only Nintendo that's... Yes, it is.
No.
Yes,
no.
It is.
Not anymore.
Whatever.
That's my biggest issue.
No. You can say whatever you want.
I do.
Mario Kart 8 was amazing.
It was alright. It wasn't the best there was. Do you want to know the best Mario Kart there was?
You're going to say Mario Kart Double Dash.
Yes.
Everyone's going to say Mario Kart.
So and if
everybody says it, do you know what that means?
Is it sounds like they're taking a lot of what was in Double Dash.
Oh, the one that people keep saying they like, that they've been ignoring for 3 years?
And putting it into
more than 3 years.
You know, those people, those people were also saying, you know what those people were also saying? That the GameCube controller was the best controller ever designed.
Okay, those people are
I'm just letting you know that that's what those people were also saying.
So you know my age-old saying.
What is your old age saying?
Not all Nintendo fans are retards, but all retards are in fact Nintendo fans.
So David is not always right, people. Don't listen to everything that David says.
But that isn't.
Please direct your hate mail, too.
You know how I like to play my console games? By just sticking my controller inside a tub full of Jelly Bellies. And taking chopsticks and just operating the buttons that way just by digging down through them. That's... if I press on the apple-flavored Jelly Belly...
But as far as the criticism goes on Nintendo, I think some of it's justified. Nintendo should have given us a little bit more... There shouldn't have been just like a 3-minute trailer saying, "Oh, this is what the console's going to do," and then give us nothing else.
It felt sort of rushed.
The other problem I have is we're not getting any more supposed announcements until 2017, which means that yes, they announced a console. We know that it's a thing. We know it's coming out in March. But as far as like maybe any launch lineup, any other info about the console, we won't be getting until probably January. And I swear, if they wait till February, that's going to do nothing but hurt them anyway. So that would be a poor decision. So hopefully we get something in January.
Nintendo's dumb.
But to kind of...
run by dinosaurs.
What's that?
Nintendo is a retarded company. Really stupid. Utterly inane. Run by dinosaurs.
That is a problem. I mean, we've talked about that before, but Sony has some of the same issues as well. So.
Sony's been a lot better, actually. They've been a lot better, like, especially with, I think it happens to be dumb luck with the PS4.
It took them an entire console generation to figure that out, though.
Mm-hmm. And it took a lot of their best people leaving for them to figure that out, too.
Yeah.
But they have been better for it.
Yeah. Now the other thing...
they're still not great.
Yeah.
But
to jump off from Sony, though, there was an announcement.
I thought we were
The Last Guardian went gold. So we might actually finally be getting The Last Guardian.
I mean,
I need DLC... Like, if pre-order DLC, just be like, reskin it to look like the Luck Dragon from Neverending Story.
So, yeah, like it went gold. It originally was supposed to come out. What we're talking like? Was it been 5 years now?
I believe it was supposed to come
5 years?
out on the
5 years
same
ago?
disc as
A
Duke
long
Nukem
time.
Forever.
And like it didn't really get pushed. They just didn't really have an announcement.
No, like that's
It's
been
originally
like
supposed to come out on the PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
Then it got announced that it's only come out for the PS4. And then we were supposed to get a date early this fall.
I think that has actually had a longer running development history than Duke Nukem Forever at this point.
No, Duke Nukem Forever has
13
still
years.
got longer. Yeah.
It was 13 years for that. How many has it been?
I think it was like
I think it's been 10.
2006.
I think it's been 10 for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only
It was-
been 10 for this one.
It was early
I'm pretty
in the
sure it's only
PS3.
10.
Well, if you look at it this way, Shadow of the Colossus came out on the tail end of the PS2.
Mhm.
What year was that?
I don't know.
2005? Because the
19
PS3 came out 2000.
I believe it was 1980.
Okay.
And so if you go by that, I'm right.
1980.
but you're
It's like
wrong.
it came out in 1980. I was like, no, that's
not right.
not right at all.
Don't tell me fast enough, I win.
We got The Last Guardian finally coming. It'll be out this. It was originally supposed to be out October 25th, and maybe about a month before it was supposed to come out, they pushed it until December 6th. So that's when we're going to see that game finally hit, and it went gold. So now nobody has to worry, is this actually going to happen? Because that means they're printing the games, whether it's good or bad.
Yay!
I am a little worried,
As everyone should be.
Yeah.
I don't know. That game...
It was the same feeling that I was getting with Final Fantasy 15. The only thing that kind of made me feel better about Final Fantasy 15
As you played it.
is I got a chance to play it. And I was like, oh, wow, they actually did a good job at doing what they were attempting to do. So I was kind of surprised with that.
Did you play Final Fantasy 15?
I did, yeah. The actual game, not the demos that
Do
they've
you
been
have
releasing.
it? Have you been playing it?
Like, no, I don't have it. When I was at my conference is when I got a chance to play it.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's come out and you didn't buy it.
Oh, I will be getting it, yes. But it doesn't come out until the end of November.
So The Last Guardian was like super cool when it was first announced, and the gameplay style was very unique because AI companions that actually reacted to you was somewhat novel, at least in an intelligent way, I should say.
Well,
To your actions.
That's been kind of their history, like that development series with like Ico and Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah, they make great
Right.
games, but it's been 10 years, and I don't know if that idea is still.
That's
relevant
exactly what I worry
anymore.
about. They've been kind of like with their faces in the same game for that long, where it's like, is this still relevant?
I think the problem was that the technology that they were trying to use just wasn't in the right spot for the PlayStation 3.
The thing about it is, like,
At least not the revamped PlayStation 3. When the PlayStation, like if it was for original PS3s, it probably would have worked just fine.
the one thing
but,
about it is like
the
those are the
Slim
most
and the-
timeless games that I think exist.
Yeah,
Are Ico and Shadow of the Colossus? Like they're still gorgeous. They're still profound to play.
they are. Yeah, and maybe maybe that is the problem. Maybe these ones won't have that same, or maybe the Last Guardian won't be as profound. Like it's not going to have something that's so different from what we're used to playing already.
Like when Psycho Manus made your controller rumble.
Or talk about the or what's on your memory card.
Yeah.
They make you feel
Castlevania.
Castlevania. But to kind of jump from the video game stuff, we are a nerd podcast, so with all nerd stuff, we do like to talk about other nerdy things. So I kind of want to jump into a couple of movie type stuff. Specifically, one thing I'm super excited about: Donald Glover got announced as our new Lando.
Calrissian.
And that's the guy that played using Operation Dumbo Drop, right?
No, that was Danny Glover, not
Donald
Donald.
Glover.
This is his brother.
No.
I don't know if
Pretty
that's
sure-
racist or not.
Pretty sure no relation.
I don't think, based on their, like, I'm going on their names, like that.
Just because they have the last name, that means they have to be brothers.
And
That's usually
Danny
how it
and
works.
Donald.
Maybe they're related. Yeah, Danny, Donald,
Donald could almost go by Donnie. Donnie
Yeah.
Glover.
Donnie and Danny Glover.
Yeah, that would.
But if you don't know who Donald Glover is, he was on Community, did an amazing job on there. He is
He's
on.
really good in Operation Dumbo Drop.
I guess if you watch the Operation Dumbo Drop that David watches, then yes.
It's not Donald Glover, though. But he's also in a new show, Atlanta, that's
Yeah.
on FX. It's really good.
Is there an elephant in it?
I actually haven't watched it. Like, is it like some of the commercials I've seen for it seem pretty funny.
Yeah, it's not an outwardly funny like family sitcom show.
Yeah.
It's like a very much down to earth like underground.
Like I was worried it was going to be too serious. Like I deal with enough serious in my life already. Like I don't need a show giving me the serious.
Episode 7 is just there. It's a whole episode of like parody commercials and a parody like little talk show.
Yeah,
it's phenomenal.
Well, I mean, I love him. Like I've watched his stand-up comedy. It's
he's
flipping amazing. Like he is definitely somebody to keep your eye on as far as he's going to skyrocket in fame.
Plus,
he's just a funny guy.
His music's good too. So
yeah, I have listened to some of his music. Yeah,
Childish Gambino.
Yep. But no, super excited about him being the new Lando. He's the perfect person for it. He's definitely going to be able to give that suave, sophisticated type look. I mean, I guess that's how young Lando's going to be. I would assume he's pretty close to the same as older Lando.
But he's probably also going to be a low-down, dirty gambler like Han Solo was.
Yes.
So it's going to be a little bit grungier and, like, a little bit sillier.
So, is it stupid that I'm excited for this movie? No, I'm super excited for this movie.
The new Star Wars?
The Han Solo.
The young Han Solo movie that they're working on right now.
No, I don't think so.
You know, the one that we're talking about? The one that, Donald Glover just got announced that he's going to be in?
As long as Chris
Using
Pratt
Operation Double Drop, right?
What else?
I don't think it's bad to be excited for that. I think that could be very cool.
So, did you guys...
Thanks for your input, David.
I mean, I'm going to ask you guys, have you guys seen the new Logan trailer?
Yes.
I know you've seen it.
Yes.
I haven't.
Thank you so much. I am super excited for that movie, too. I love the Old Man Logan stuff. It is amazing.
You just look so old.
I have every single one of the comics. He's supposed to be Old Man Logan. I have every single one of the comics, and then I even went on my way to make sure to get the hardback of when they were all put together.
Indiana Jones 4.
The Crystal Skull.
Yeah. The Crystal Skull. What about it?
Remember how old Indiana Jones looks in that? Just like, you can hear his bones.
Ford?
Yeah.
Well, no, because Harrison Ford's been in other things that look younger.
Well, true.
Specifically Star Wars.
Again, it's a sequel.
When Harrison Ford
means that they
in
just, decided
Indiana
to put
Jones,
more
were just
makeup on him.
You can hear his bones creaking. Yeah, just like,
I'm too old for this.
Well, what had he done before Indiana Jones? Maybe he didn't really...
There was Indiana Jones 3.
Well, no, that's not what I mean.
And there was Star Wars.
That's not what I mean. My point is that I think he had more time off between whatever his last movie.
The Fugitive was probably it.
Well, it was 20 years between Indiana Jones 3
and Blue Streak.
4, I think.
Yeah.
Wasn't it 10, 15 years?
But my point is that he's had more come out.
I think he was in Porky's Revenge.
Before Force Awakens, that he was maybe a bit more in shape.
And he voiced one of the characters
ready to do stuff like that. And then he jumps right into Indiana Jones and is totally all beat up and everything.
He was in...
He's in a lot. You keep going.
Black Cauldron.
He's a good actor. Did you say Ender's Game?
It was in Ender's Game.
Treasure Planet.
Yeah, Ender's Game. What did you think about him in Ender's Game? Did you actually watch it?
Ender's Game?
Oh, wait, yeah, you did watch it.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I know you watched it.
I watched Ender's Game. I actually like that movie a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think they could have told that story better as a movie.
Now, we don't want to go into a whole review of it.
I don't know if I agree with a lot of the casting for it.
I mean, we're 3 years behind on that one, so...
Better late than never.
Well, that's the thing, I think that deserves at least a little bit of attention. Where that's a story that's influenced a lot of modern sci-fi.
Yeah.
Good or bad, however you feel about Ursula Scott Card, he's an excellent writer, and that his books have been formative for a lot of modern sci-fi. And I think it was important to do that justice. I think they did okay, but it could have been better.
Yeah. Okay.
But Logan.
Yeah, let's go back to Logan.
Yeah. Not Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
So Harrison Ford is playing Logan? And
No.
No. You big jerk.
He's playing Sabretooth.
Huey Jax.
Yeah. Huey Jax. I like that. Let's go with that.
Name my new helicopter.
So, Mr. Huey Jax is doing that. He's reprising his role as Logan once again. This will be his last time Mr. Huey Jax does this.
He'd probably hate that. If
I think it's an appropriate send-off, though. As far as telling a story.
I think that would, if you yelled that out in an airport or something, hey,
Huey Jax!
Do
you think he would turn around?
And just stop.
Don't
the thing, just
do that again.
Look over at you, just just the worst look on his face. Just like utter just confusion and hatred mixed in one. Just like stare at you for like a good 5 seconds, just lock eyes, and then just turn and keep walking. Just at a just irritated pace.
He's probably also
shaking his head as he walks away.
He's like a foot taller
I
than
think
me,
that would ruin his week doing that.
Definitely looking forward to it. I think it's a appropriate send off for Wolverine.
I think that would make like a Tonight Show interview.
I don't think we're going to get anywhere near the Old Man Logan story based on what the trailer was showing off.
It looks like it's already happened, and it's afterward. Like he's haunted by it.
It's either already happened and he's kind of haunted by it, or they're just going to ignore like what Marvel did. It wouldn't surprise me if Fox just ignored it, because that's kind of what Fox's MO right now is.
Ignore
we're going to ignore anything that Marvel does, and we're going to try and do our own. That way we can prove that we can run this, because that worked really well with Fantastic Four the last 2 times. Three times.
And Spider-Man's.
And with Spider-Man, that's Sony. And Sony's already fessed up and like, you know what, Marvel, you're doing good. Let's go ahead and bring you in on this.
Yeah, but it took them so long.
It did. I mean, but Sony didn't do terrible. The first one, but the first Spider-Man movie, with Tobey Maguire was really good. The second one was really good. The third one, I even hated the moment I walked out of the theater. I was like, what piece of garbage was that? It's like emo, Peter Parker. Yeah. Like, no.
Ruffling his hair.
That was just so dumb.
Bad.
I liked the first Amazing Spider-Man. It's very, very heartfelt. Definitely made me, want to cry at the end, and then of course the end of the second one, I almost cried at that one too. But they were both.
You're such a softie.
I am a softie.
What happens in the second one?
Have you not seen it?
The second Spider-Man? I think I did. I think it was the third one I missed.
Gwen Stacy dies. But, I already knew it was going to happen, but, that is one of the saddest moments in, Peter Parker's life is Gwen Stacy dying.
Love interest.
Was it Mary Jane?
No, it's Gwen Stacy first, and then Mary Jane.
So she was the Russian lady that walked over into his apartment and gave him cookies in the first one?
No, that... Gwen Stacy would have, technically already been...
who was the bad guy in the second one?
A singer?
The bad guy in the second one...
Sandman?
It was Electro, and it was... you're talking about the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans.
You're talking about the Amazing Spider-Man?
Amazing Spider-Man.
So Andrew Garfield, right?
Yeah, Andrew Garfield.
And Donald Glover?
Andrew Garfield.
Yes.
I wish he was Spider-Man. He'd make such a good Spider-Man.
There was a lot of talk that when they were going to do Spider-Man, that they wanted to do a Miles Morales one, and Donald Glover was going to be the one playing him.
He would have been phenomenal too.
But that actually would have worked. It would have worked, and it would have been fun. But,
I can agree with that. I really
like Tom Holland. I think Tom Holland's going to do a good job. I liked what I saw in Civil War. So, but I mean, we're getting way off point as far as what we're talking about. But to kind of continue going into the Fox MO, we got a little bit of shakeup on Deadpool 2.
Oh, great.
Yeah, because I know David loves Deadpool.
You still haven't seen the first one.
Seen the first one.
No. You can't judge it. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, it is phenomenal.
It's on Netflix.
You know what? I can judge that movie all I want. Do you know why? Because I played DC Universe, and everybody that rolled into that game was freaking Deadpool.
Except for me. I was different.
Yeah, no.
But...
very
Pants Charlie.
Very, very flamboyant.
I believe I was... Did I get Captain Wonderful as my name?
Yeah, we had
You were a girl.
But I still named her Captain Wonderful, I think.
Girls can be cat. Wait, can they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Captain Marvel is a female.
Yeah. Meh.
Yeah, women can be captains.
Cool. Yeah. Deadpool.
Actually, my title currently in World of Warcraft is Captain.
So, any hate mail you want to send, you can send it towards Hayden's way, as far as that goes.
Yeah.
So, Deadpool 2. Tim Miller is no longer going to be directing it. He directed the first one.
Oh.
Did a pretty good job.
I wouldn't know.
You should really watch that movie.
Supposedly, based on the reports, is that him and Ryan Reynolds were not agreeing with the direction of the film.
Ryan Reynolds wanted to do the whole movie naked.
So supposedly it's amicable. Tim Miller was okay with leaving, and Ryan Reynolds is okay with the different direction and all that stuff. Supposedly everything is still kosher between them, but they just weren't happy with the direction. So I don't know if that's more Fox forcing Tim to do stuff, or more Fox forcing Ryan Reynolds to do stuff.
I thought kosher was just another word for Jewish.
So, once again, any hate mail you want to direct, you can go and send towards Dave's way. I mean, I'm a little worried, about this, only because based on Fox's trend,
this could end up badly.
This could end badly.
Mm.
Now, we'll have to wait and see. But
Ryan Reynolds is like Deadpool incarnate. Like if you follow him on Twitter, he is hilarious.
Yes, like he understands Deadpool better than anyone else there. So now if they said that Ryan Reynolds is leaving, I'm like, okay, we're not watching that movie.
Yeah.
That movie's gonna be garbage. Nobody on that film is going to know what direction it needs to go into.
Donald Glover. So, you may have known him from Operation Double Drop.
That might be kind of cool.
He'd be hilarious. It would have to be a parody though.
Yeah.
But it'd be hilarious.
Like the parody being that it would be a Donald Glover Deadpool, but it's Ryan Reynolds pretending to be Donald Glover
one of the podcasts
as Deadpool, just so it could be kind of breaking that fourth wall. Be really meta.
Super meta.
One of the podcasts I listen to, one of the guys, whenever they do hypothetical movie casting, he always says Will Smith.
Will Smith.
And it took me like 300 episodes to figure it out. And then when I actually figured it, I was like, oh, that's pretty great.
Hey, he made a good dead shot.
He did.
No, he didn't.
I thought he did.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he was fine.
But let me put it this
He
way.
had a kid. It made it relatable to the audience.
All right, so the reason I will say this is because Will Smith is a great actor, and he could do better at any other role in the DC universe, and they wasted him on that.
I don't think... Okay. So, I don't think that's what... I think he would have done fine. I think the writers and the director were poor choices for that movie. That's what I think.
So, here's what I'm saying.
I think the writing in general was just bad, and that's the reason why it looked like Will Smith didn't do as good as he normally would. Okay, if you're going to bring up Iron Man, you're going to bring up those movies. Those movies have good writers and good directors.
They do, but you've got those... You're taking Captain America, Iron Man...
Like you're talking... Well, like aside from maybe Captain America and Hulk, you're talking that they're taking their B team. Like they're... Like, so Iron Man wasn't even B team at the time.
What I mean is
like C team.
You've got identifiable actors that are very popular with your like...
Robert Downey Jr. was not popular then, though.
You are dumb.
He was not.
He was.
No, he wasn't.
He was popular in the 80s, and then he did the whole cocaine thing, and that spiraled so fast. That was sort of the
Iron Man was the beginning of when he started getting popular again.
I think
he was not popular at that time.
The only other movie I can think of that he did around that time was Charlie Bartlett, which he played a drunken dad. And even that...
The one where he's the principal?
Yes.
Okay. That's a really good movie.
It's a good movie.
That came out just a tad bit after Iron Man.
Okay.
Yeah. As far as, like, don't get me wrong, I love Robert Downey Jr. I've always liked him. Back
to School.
Back to School.
He was hilarious.
Weird Science.
Yeah, Weird Science is good.
I like Chaplin, the movie Chaplin. He plays Charlie Chaplin in that. I absolutely love that movie. I love Robert Downey Jr., but when he got picked up for Iron Man, people didn't want him, and it was Jon Favreau that says, no, he needs to be our Tony Stark. Like, it makes sense for him to be Tony Stark. Mm-hmm. With the craziness that he just went through in his life, that's what Tony Stark basically did in the comic books. Mm-hmm. He's more relatable to this character than any person you could possibly cast for it, which is probably one of the reasons why it did so well.
But what I'm saying here is he's still a big actor.
Mm-hmm. Well, now, yeah. Like, he's actually, I think he's still the top paid actor right now in Hollywood.
In
but
Hollywood?
And Will Smith had that.
No, in Hollywood.
Will Smith had that title at one point.
Yeah.
Highest paid actor in Hollywood.
2005-ish.
And you're taking him, Will Smith, and you're putting him as like a B-tier enemy in the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And maybe they're going to try to do another Suicide Squad movie at some point.
But the one thing to note about the Iron Man thing is that was C-team. Iron Man was not a big deal when they decided to make that movie. When they announced that they were making an Iron Man movie, everybody was like, why?
Well, the thing about
Iron Man,
it
nobody
is
cares about Iron Man.
Iron Man was easily... They were able to change him and have him part of the Avengers and everything. You're not going to do that with Deadshot.
Well, he's not part of the Avengers. Like I said, I don't think that movie was bad.
I understand
because of Will Smith.
we're talking
I think it was bad
DC
because
and
of the
Marvel,
writing.
but what I'm saying is the congruency between these two things is on the Avengers and on the DC universe, whatever the Justice League.
Mhm.
Like Deadshot's not going to go be part of the Justice League now.
No,
He can't do that.
Like, he's a bad guy. He's part of the
Yes,
Suicide
exactly. He's a B tier villain from a Batman thing.
Squad. Yeah.
And the best you can ever do with him is like, okay, he could be like the main enemy in a Batman movie, or you could have him in a bunch of other Suicide Squad movies, which, you know, maybe those will be okay. But you've wasted like really good talent there.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to say that his talent wasn't wasted, but I don't blame Will Smith for that.
No. I'm not saying that.
I blame the direction of that movie, and I blame Warner Brothers, and I blame the writers. Like that's what I
would also extend that blame to Eminem.
To Eminem.
Because they put his stupid song in there that didn't fit at all.
Well, like all of their songs don't fit. But to kind of go over one last thing as far as the movie world, and this actually kind of jumps into us talking about Warner Brothers. AT&T is going to be buying out Warner Brothers. With said deal, that gives them a lot. That means that they're going to be picking up HBO, TBS, TNT, Cartoon Network.
That gets them a lot of... I didn't even think AT&T had that sort of power.
I didn't realize that they had that sort of power either.
Yeah.
But let's see here.
Does that mean that WB isn't doing very well?
I don't know.
I don't know if it's that. I think maybe they just got the interest of AT&T.
I guess.
I think they've actually been doing pretty well with, like, you know, the Batman game has been very popular. Like, everything they've seemed to touch in the past few years has been pretty well received.
Well, if you're talking about video games, as far as movies, that hasn't been going too well, especially if you're talking about the DC universe.
TV shows WB are they're okay.
Well, yeah, like the CW universe, I absolutely love. Like anything that's got, like, the Supergirl stuff's been really cool. I've really enjoyed that. I've geeked out quite a few times watching that. Flash is amazing, like always. Arrow has been really good this season. I actually stopped like halfway into last season because I couldn't watch it anymore.
Gotham
so drama.
I have watched Gotham. I watched the first season. I watched most of the second season. I haven't really watched much from that. I know that it's gotten a lot better. So I have a love and hate relationship with Gotham. I don't mind what they're doing for the most part because they're basically have taken the Batman universe, shook it up a lot, and then turn it upside down, and then turn it back up, and then turn it back upside down. Like, nothing in that makes sense to me, because none of it is
Jim
anything
Carrey's still
like...
the Riddler?
Why isn't the Penguin British?
Well,
he should be. Oswald Copperpot, and he's like
Cobblepot.
So, like, I mean, that stuff doesn't... That's the stuff that wouldn't bother me. The stuff that bothers me is that their origin stories are completely being retold.
Yeah.
Like, 100%. And it's not that it necessarily bothers me. It's just I'm such a huge Batman nerd and fan that, like, when I watch it, it irks me a little bit.
Yeah.
And I know that they're doing really cool stuff.
The thing about it is, like, if Batman isn't in there, you know, and all these villains are having their origin stories, you know, like, what does that do? Like, okay, well, Batman comes in, like, how old is he in the comic books when he comes back as Batman? In his 30s?
I think he's in his mid-20s. It depends on which version of Batman we're talking about.
Most of the time when they
it's like in his mid-20s. He's like in his mid-20s.
Like 35 to 40.
I would say early 30s.
If anything, it would be early 30s, but I would say mid-20s to late 20s.
And the thing about that is, like, okay, if Batman is still a kid in this, when he comes in there, he's fighting a bunch of, like, 40-plus-year-old, best case scenario. Like,
here's my problem.
But not
the idea behind Batman is that when Batman decided to come and do his work in Gotham is when all of these people started creeping out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They're doing the opposite now. All these people are already here, and then when Batman gets here, it doesn't get... Like, where do they go when Batman gets there and it gets bigger? Like, that's the thing, is that Batman's there, and that's why these people became who they became.
It's been that subject of, like, the villains are there because Batman is there.
Yeah, they talk about that in Civil War. You know, like the concept of that in Civil War is like
You brought us out. You know?
We are superheroes. We were coming out. We're defending these things, but because we're here, things get stronger, and then we have to deal with that.
They go over that in Superman too, right?
Yeah. They talk about this all the time, and so my concept behind this is that we're getting all these supervillains, and they're all crazy powerful. And when Batman gets there, he's having to deal with that. What's bigger? You know what I mean? Like what's bigger than what they're already doing?
Yeah.
Like when Batman gets there, he's supposed to be taking out like the mob scene. That's what Batman's pretty much doing.
The only thing bigger
and then later
Batman
on, after he's done taking care of the
the
mob scene, is when all the crazies and the lunatics, you know, like Scarecrow and Joker
Mr.
and all that,
Freeze.
Mr. Freeze, like all that stuff comes out.
The Riddler.
Yeah, the Riddler. You know, like all that stuff's happening because Batman, like the Riddler is based off of Batman being the greatest detective.
By the way, the Riddler in the Batman games, the Arkham games, I think is probably the best that there's ever been.
I like the one that they've done in Gotham. Like, see, and that's my thing. Like,
I
I love the
watched
stuff
that,
that they've
but,
done
like,
in Gotham.
Is he Riddler yet, or is he still Edward Nygma?
He's doing Riddler type stuff. It's not to the degree that we know Riddler can do, but he's still kind of doing it.
Yeah.
I just mean like all those antagonistic, like just little calls you get all the time from him.
Yeah,
where he's just gloating and gloating and gloating, and it's like as you keep solving his stuff,
he starts getting
he's shaken up.
Yeah, he's getting shaken up. Yeah, and he's going a little crazy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, like I like what they've been doing with the characters. The one time that I was actually upset is when the kid that they had playing the possible Joker. They had an episode where they introduced this kid. I'm trying to remember his name. I don't remember his name. Anyway,
Jared Oker.
Anyway, just this this kid that was playing the Joker, or the idea of what the Joker is, was doing it flawlessly. Like, if there were to be a Joker, like, this is, you know, this kid would be turning into him type deal, and you're getting that feeling, you're getting that creepy Joker type vibe off of him.
Which version of the Joker?
So...
Because there's three.
So this is the best part.
Okay.
He's taken all three roles, aside from Jared Leto's, because his came after. And kind of like, I'm talking Mark Hamill, I'm talking Jack Nicholson, and I'm talking Heath Ledger. He took all three of those and combined in one. And it was amazing. Like,
I'll have to watch this now.
You have
this
to,
sounds
like,
it's
in the second season.
Okay.
And it's I'm pretty sure it's second season. It's in the second season.
I'll find it.
He's there for a little while, but they kill him off.
Oh.
And so the idea, I'm sorry, I just ruined it for you.
Well, he could reappear, though.
Well, so
right?
here's the way he dies. You would think that you'd be pretty sure he's dead, but I mean, the Joker dies a lot in the comic books, and he's not dead.
He always comes
now,
back.
here's a concept that they basically are talking about, and it's kind of something that DC's kind of working with too, which I'm not too happy about. But there's more than one Joker. Like his craziness, he's like on TV and everybody sees it. They see his craziness and they're like, I want to be like him.
Yeah.
So then other people start acting like him.
I can see that.
So which creates other Jokers.
How old is the kid, though?
He's the same age as probably Bruce is in Gotham.
Yes.
So it made sense. Like, all of that made sense. Is that this kid is going to grow up on the opposite end of what Bruce was dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to watch him grow up and be crazy. And then Bruce is going to grow up and kind of be crazy and become Batman.
I was going to say that. I was like, watch him grow up and be like, totally normal, really upbringing there.
And, you know, like that's kind of the idea that you're getting as you're watching this, and you're like, oh my gosh, this kid is perfect as Joker. Like, he's doing an amazing job.
Listen to him bark.
But yeah, it was just impressive. And then they come up was like, oh, that's so sad. And then their idea was like, oh, there's more than one Joker. Like this is kind of what we're developing towards, is that there could be more. Now,
did the kid have a brother and sister? No, maybe not sister.
Based on his origin story, no.
Yes, it was Jane Oker and Joshua Oker.
Yeah.
His brother and sister.
Jethro would be
Jeff
a good
Oker.
throwback. Jethro.
Jethro.
But yeah, no, as far as like the Warner Brothers type TV shows, they've been doing really good. Like I like almost no wrong. Like Arrow was a little off kilter last season.
It gets so drama.
Yes, way too drama-y. A lot of that CW girl type drama.
Oh my god,
it's getting very tired of the Felicity Oliver, fight
love
back.
Thing.
Their little love thing. It was driving me nuts.
Yeah,
they've done away with that. That's not going on. I mean, there's tension. between them because they're still working together and all that stuff.
That's how it should be.
But it's not. Yeah, the drama. Like, I mean, there's still drama there, but it's the relationship drama is driving me nuts. Felicity wants to get married. Felicity doesn't want to get married. Felicity doesn't want to get married. Oliver doesn't want to get married. Oliver does want to get married. Felicity doesn't want to get married. Just driving me nuts. Just choose something, people. I mean, come on.
See, that comes off to me as just bad writing.
You know, and that's kind of what it was.
And they have to stretch what they have into an entire season's worth of show.
And see, and that's the problem, is that something like that could have been done in the beginning of the season, just done.
Yeah, it could have been done in 2 episodes.
Like,
really.
Like that, you know, that like kind of just bad writing in 24. Where it just...
Long-standing TV dramas, or however you want to call it, Arrow. Action drama?
Look, people tell me all the time I should be watching TV. You should be. There's a lot of good stuff on there.
There is.
And then I hear about this garbage and go like, no, there still isn't.
Well, then
because
you're
still
to watch this
doing
stuff.
this kind of garbage.
But
like, this is a medium that is older than video games, and you still have this... You're still leaning on these awful crutches.
But I mean, we're still gonna. There's gonna be bad TV just as much as there's good TV.
Yeah,
just like there's gonna be bad movies and there's gonna be good movies.
Okay. I don't want to deal with this crap. It's 2016.
It's your job to watch it, and if you don't like it, you don't watch it.
It's not my job to watch it. It's my job to complain about it. Here, it's 2016. We don't have hoverboards. We don't have flying cars, and I still don't have my own DeLorean.
But we do have Rick and Morty. We have Atlanta. And we have all the HBO shows like Westworld. You guys should watch Westworld.
How do I watch?
It's phenomenal.
What services do I have to get to watch Rick and Morty?
You just need Cartoon Network.
Yeah,
okay, and what does that come on?
Don't know.
Is it on Hulu?
It is available on Hulu.
Is it on Netflix?
No.
Is it on Crunchyroll?
Don't know.
Probably not.
We can find some places for you to watch it.
Amazon Prime streaming?
I don't think it's on Amazon. Mm-mm. I mean, I have a season on Amazon because I purchased the season 2, but like
so I don't have Hulu, but I do have Crunchyroll.
Hulu's got both seasons.
I'll send you a place where you can watch it.
I don't want
to. It's so good though.
Yeah,
sorry. I would maybe watch it there, but like what I'm saying is like I don't want to watch. I'm not going to subscribe to Hulu.
But the point is,
I've got like one subscription thing, and
that's fine. And the point is that there's just so much TV out there right now that you can't just like be like, oh, well, this show is too drama-y, because for each one of those, there's something like Ray Donovan or Westworld or Vice News or whatever. There's so much more that you can watch that like channels are now in the thousands. Ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that like there's so much good TV that it's dumb.
Yeah.
Like I have tons of stuff recording up on my DVR all the time that I can't get through within a week. And so, like, I mean, because you got Walking Dead that's getting ready to come back, and I'll be watching that. And, you know, there's things like Westworld that I want to see, you know, Game of Thrones and all of those. And you have all of the, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is really good as well. Like, there's tons of great TV still on. You just have to find what is your niche, essentially. Like, what do you like in your TV? Because, I mean, there's definitely plenty of stuff that you're probably not going to like.
But
so
for
don't watch it.
Every one of those,
I actually have no interest in watching any of these. Like, Rick and Morty from maybe the only one.
No, you're missing out. The CW, Warner Brothers stuff's great. Cameron Monaghan, though, was the kid that played the Joker. And he wasn't called the Joker. His name was Jerome.
Jerome Oker.
Jerome Oker.
Jerome Oker. But anyway, we're gonna stop the podcast here. Thanks for joining us today. It's been awesome. We'll have lots more to talk about next week as well. Please, if you like this, hit the like button and subscribe. Helps us out. Lets us know we're doing things right.
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
Tell 5 of them.
But like always, you can always follow me at
NS Podcast _ Kyle.
NS Podcast _ Kyle.
Yeah.
Hayden got it.
NS Podcast _ Hey Ho. And Dave is grape as a concept.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Don't worry.
We're so good at our jobs.
I got you guys covered. Also keep updated on our WordPress because I blog sometimes about stuff.
Oh, I keep up on that. I got this Facebook page where you're my only friend, and it tells me exactly what you've been doing.
Find Dave on Facebook. Add him as a friend.
2 days. It's like, there's been 8 things that have happened. Hayden Smith has liked 8 things on the internet. You should know about it. Great.
It sounds about right.
Yep.
Yep, that's the internet for you.
Got Facebook just so I can follow what Hayden Smith does, but I'm not next to him.
Why not?
But enjoy your wonderful day, guys. Thanks.